Coming up, I'm going to share 5 things that make people dislike you at work. And then boomerang employees are wanting their old jobs back. And we've got some unbelievably cringy job postings, and we're going to coach you up. Let's go. Giving you the competitive edge to win at work and in life. Making more money, making greater impact. This is the Ken Coleman Show. I'm your coach. Let's go. 5 things that make people dislike you at work. So, who's the office jerk? This is the question I lead with today. Come on. Some of you right now, you're going, oh, some of you instantly were like, oh yeah, it's Fred. This guy, Fred. This guy, Fred, is a world-class jerk. Some of you were like, well, let's see. Am I allowed more than one answer? Right? I mean, does this include my boss or is this just coworkers? Some of you are like, well, you know what? I'm really blessed. I don't work with any jerks. That's either true or you're the jerk. So let's dive into this, right? I mean, who among us wants to be a jerk? All right. Like the only people who want to be a jerk are people that are so unhealthy and they're so stuck in their life. They're in such a bad place that the idea of being a jerk is acting out. But nobody in a healthy mindset wants to be a jerk. But we've all been jerks before and we will all be jerks again on some level. We hope it's just very, very few times. And we certainly hope that it's not at a nuclear level, right? But there's a problem in today's workforce, and I am on the front lines. I hear it every day on the show, in social, via emails from you, the people. We see it in the data that we share on the show. We got a massive problem in the workplace in America, and you know what it is? Too many freaking jerks. So let's take on the jerkiness. Can we? All right. So here are 5 common jerky behaviors. Oh, this is so fun for me. Here we go. Number 1, overconfidence. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, there's a difference between confident and so cocky that you come across like a jerk. All right? I mean, overconfidence in the form of cockiness is just good old-fashioned jerkiness. You're a jerk. Number 2, how about the know-it-all jerk? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of you right now, I can hear, if I listen close, I can hear you amening out the internet and the airwaves, over the satellite, over the podcast. You're amening about the know-it-all. These are people who think they know everything, so therefore they can't learn anything. One of the ways we see this is they ignore any kind of feedback, any kind of advice. When they need it, they ignore it. Oh, yeah. Big old jerks. Number 3, how about the I'm too good for that jerk? This is different than cockiness. This is arrogance. That's beneath me. Dismissing menial tasks. I'm too qualified, or I'm too educated, or I'm too good for that. Oh boy, they're a special kind of jerk, aren't they? How about 4th? How about just the jerk? Oh yeah, like. This is just a person who's actually trying because they're in so much pain, they're in so much misery that they want to demean and belittle and hurt others because they themselves are hurting. We ought to treat the janitor with the same amount of respect as we treat the CEO. Don't demean others. Don't belittle others. Don't disrespect others. It's hard to do sometimes, isn't it? By the way, let me just tell you, that everybody has this capacity. And many times it is because you are hurting or you feel you've been offended or hurt. And so it is a knee-jerk response. Yes, I meant to use that, right? This idea of when we go to the doctor's office, they do that reflex thing and they hit the front of your knee with that stupid little triangle rubber mallet, and your knee can't, you know, it's just kind of go, oh. And so many times we're a jerk in this regard when we feel offended. Well, I'm guilty of that one. Number 5. How about the aloof jerk? They avoid any kind of true, meaningful conversation. They avoid casual conversation. In other words, they don't engage in community or relationship. Yeah, I don't want to engage. I tell you what it reminds me of. Yeah, you've ever seen these celebrities, on video or camera? They're walking out of a restaurant. It's not their fault. So they've not been jerks here, but the paparazzi, everybody's paying attention and they're just trying to ignore the paparazzi. But it's the person who does that in real life, walking around ignoring everybody else. You don't want to be part of anything. Yeah, it's jerky behavior. So how do we avoid being a jerk? So it starts with self-awareness. And so here's a fun question. Am I being jerky? Am I being a jerk? Like, we have to walk around with a sense of self-awareness to go, something didn't feel right about that. How much of that was because I was being a jerk? Gosh, this is hard. Can I tell you how hard this is? This is really, really hard. And I don't want to oversimplify this teaching right now because it's not simple in the sense of it's simple to understand and it's not simple to do. And the reason it's not simple to do is because it requires us to, number one, say, was I a jerk? And that's the easiest part of the hard part. The hardest part is it's a 2-part question. Was I a jerk is part 1. Part 2 is, why was I a jerk? I'll be honest with you, I'm uncomfortable right now. Thinking about times when I've been a jerk and I had to get with myself, right? Little huddle with me. Was I a jerk? I had to go find out and they told me I was a jerk. Oh, geez. And so the huddle with myself is, why was I a jerk? What caused me to be a jerk? And so I gave you just moments ago some general ideas, but let's just talk about the solution to avoiding jerkiness. Be humble. Be humble. And this is not walking around like Eeyore. That's not humility. C.S. Lewis said it best. Being humble is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. And so the idea is when I'm walking around thinking about others more than I'm thinking of myself, small chance I'm going to be a jerk. Ask for feedback. Ask for feedback and help and knowledge and insight from people who know more than you, whether they've been in the building longer or they've been in the career decades longer. Do what you were asked to do in the job. Do what you were asked to do. Do it with excellence. Treat everybody with dignity and respect, and then engage. Make relationships in the office, engage. So that's the flip side of those 5 areas of jerkiness that we can all fall into, and that's the flip side. And so why is it important to make sure that we are guarding ourselves from being jerks? Because instead of bringing jerkiness to the office, you'll bring joyfulness. And guess what I know? Those that are joyful get promoted and make really good money and big impact. Jerks, they just get kicked out.
Did you know recruiters take an average of 6 seconds to scan a resume? And that's if they ever see it in the first place. In fact, 75% of resumes are rejected before reaching a hiring manager. Listen, folks, if you want to get hired, you've got to make sure your resume is getting noticed. That's why we created How to Write the Perfect Resume. This free guide will walk you through the 5 steps to stand out in the hiring process and land your dream job. To get started, go to kencoleman.com/resume.
I need a song. I need a variation, Alex, on the DJ Khaled song. All I do is win, win, win. I need a version, and we can make it ourselves so we'll have no licensing issues, Joe. and it says, all I do is help you win, win, win. Okay?
No matter what.
No matter what. Thank you very much. That's all about the people, not about me. So we need to see if we can come up with a fun version of that. All right. Speaking of helping you win, 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 no matter what. I've teamed up with our amazing team at Ramsey Academy where we're helping you grow in your career, adding tools to your tool belt. And the way we're doing that recently, oh my goodness, every Thursday night in May, we have hosted a free crash course. So coming up this Thursday, May 26th, we're hosting an interview crash course. That's right. I'm teaching you how to win your job interviews. For many of you, most of you, it'll be the most pressure-filled performance you'll ever have to give, and I can give you the hacks. Relentless preparation leads to reflexive performance, and I'm going to teach you how to perform reflexively no matter what your stress level is. So I'm going to walk you through how to prepare, what to expect, common interview questions, and so much more. To sign up for this, just go to RamseySolutions.com/crash courses. Go to RamseySolutions.com/crash courses. Let me coach you up. All right. I am a man of the people, and I am here for you. I am informed, so maybe you don't have to be. You're busy. Let me read. Let me reflect, and let me help you with my esteemed opinion on things in the news. I just asked myself, why am I speaking in that voice? And I'm having entirely too much fun. But also, that's the kind of stuff, Alex, I would like to do around the house. But with 3 teenagers, they just brutally criticize me. Any attempt to be funny, oh, Dad, that's so cringe. I need a T-shirt that says, I'm cringe. Because that's what I feel like my teens call me all the time. Are you experiencing this, Alex? You got the teens. Yeah, you are too? Okay, very good. All right, let's get to it here. This is a CNN story. Early on in the show, I've mentioned boomerang employees, and this is referring to people who have left one place, company ABC. They go to a company XYZ, and it's not what they thought, or it's not what they wanted, or they realized, oof, I got some buyer's remorse. Gee whiz, I sure would like to come back home, right? It's the old, I want to live on my own, Mom and Dad. And so Mom and Dad go, all right, Sparky, go get yourself an apartment. And the kid's in the apartment for 3 or 4 months, and life hits them, and they go, I'm not ready. I'd like to come back home. That's what's going on. In March, a record 4.5 million people quit their jobs. Folks, the Great Resignation continues. We're now over 30 million people have changed their jobs since August of 2022, when this thing really started heating up. And really, you look at the summer, of August of 2021. And so if you look at the summer of 2021, things really started to heat back up in many parts of the country. And keep in mind, folks, that before the pandemic, so in February of 2020, I was on this show talking daily about the fact that we had more jobs available than we had people unemployed. So we were about 3.8% unemployment in February of 2020, and now here we sit, 3.6% unemployment. And so we were talking as a team, and I want to point something out. We were talking in our content meeting last week, I believe, about this gap. We keep hearing about it. Companies have a hard time finding people because we have, again, let's just make this up, making this up for round numbers. We got 10 million jobs available. We're somewhere in that range. And we have 8.2 million, 8.3 million, 8.1 million people unemployed. So there's a gap. More jobs than there are people who are looking for jobs. Okay. And so we were talking about this, and I pointed this out to our team, and I want to point it out to you. This is not a problem. Okay. This is not a societal economic problem. It is a nuisance for companies. But let's be very careful for us to understand that this is first of all, it's great for you, the people, because it is a job seeker's market. However, this is a sign of a healthy capitalistic society. A healthy capitalistic society will have a large percentage of it coming from the entrepreneurial ventures. So in any healthy capitalistic society, you will have new entrepreneurs essentially starting something new every day. And as a result, you will and should have, in a healthy economy, more jobs available than you have people that are employed. Okay? So let's understand that this isn't a bad thing. So you hear people talking about it. Well, it is a nuisance for leaders and companies, and leaders are going to have to figure out what their competitive advantage is. And I'm going to tell you this. Hey, leaders, hey, companies, if you start taking care of the people you have, you'll never have to worry about getting the people you need. Ooh, that's a mic drop. We'll leave that there and get back to that some other time. So here's the story. Millions and millions and millions of people changing jobs, but more and more people are experiencing buyer's remorse. They jump ship, got a higher paycheck, which by the way, on the surface, the bigger paycheck seems like it's a no-brainer until the bigger paycheck high wears off. Then we're in a new place that may not be as healthy as the old place. We're in a new place where they told us we want you to do this job, but you're not doing that job. We're in a new place that showed a lot of potential promise, got me maybe closer to my sweet spot or in my sweet spot, but the people are jerks. The boss is a jerk. Or the boss is just a horrible leader. Good person, bad leader. Happens all the time. In fact, most bad leaders are in some ways good people. They just don't know how to lead. So, all of a sudden, the reality comes crashing down. The grass is not greener. I'd like to go home. Could I please come home, Mom and Dad? And that's what's happening. They're reaching out, going, hey, reaching out to their old boss. Certainly, these are people who left well. Keep in mind. And so here's another little commercial of content as we dive into this. Leaving well matters. You may not think it matters. And you ask these boomerang employees if leaving well matters, and they'd go, oh, baby, does it matter? But you young people out there who've grown up with TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all the other things, and you just ghost people for a living. I mean, these stinking kids they spend all their time on Snapchat. The whole concept of Snapchat is ghosting. I send you a message and then poof, it's gone. Isn't that true? It's the whole thing. Thank you, Alex. I'm so 47. The entire logo of Snapchat is a ghost. This is what social media has done. I can ignore you. I can gaslight you, but from a distance. No consequences to our actions, at least we don't think. But these people who left, they don't want to come back. They left well because they are being taken back, some of them. So the story goes into 3 different profiles. Here's the takeaway. A big chunk of people missed interacting with people. They took a job that was highly remote because they thought during the pandemic, that's what I want. So they took a job that was, I get to control my time. It's very remote. They missed people. That was one big takeaway. Not the right timing. They took the opportunity. It was the right paycheck, but it wasn't the right timing for them. And they realized it. They jumped too quickly. And number 3, some people said, you know what? I made a move for a paycheck, but I'm going back because the career growth, the ladder that you hear me talk about all the time, the ladder for growth, it was at the old place. And so they're returning. Now, here's what's interesting. As I read the story, they profiled 3 people in the story. Here's what's interesting, Alex. All 3 of the people they profiled in this article who are successful boomerangers, meaning they left company ABC, go to XYZ, and they get a chance to return to ABC. And they did it. All 3, there was a relationship component. They did it out of relationship. We long to belong. Folks, there's a reason why I wrote the book, Paycheck to Purpose. Paycheck wears off. And in our purpose is relational desires as well. Are you wondering if you should leave your current job or stay put? Well, you're not alone. That's why we created the Should I Quit My Job quiz. In just 5 minutes or less, this quiz will help you determine if you're at the right company and if you're in the right role. And if you need to make a move, you'll get practical steps
to keep you moving forward. Folks, it's time to get unstuck. Life is too short not to do what you were created to do. Go take the quiz right now at kencoleman.com/quiz.
All right, folks, welcome back. It is time for our coaching session. Don't forget, coming up, our last segment. You don't want to miss this. Cringy job posts. This is horrible bossery. Run amok. Like, we have such horrible leadership in this country that they would allow some of these job postings, and some of them, I'm going to actually tell you that the social media crowd, the what do you call them? I don't even know what you call them. The snowflakes, they get all bent out of shape. Okay? Alex, I got to tell you, some of them really aren't cringy, and they thought they're cringy. So I am going to tell the truth and share my opinion. If you don't like it, get over it. It's going to be okay. All right. Let's get to the phones, shall we? St. Louis, Missouri is where we go next. Will is on the line. Will, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Pleasure to speak to you.
Well, the pleasure's all mine. What's up?
I had a question. So I work in the industry that generally requires a college degree.
Which is what industry?
Medical device. I'm a clinical trainer.
Okay.
And I do not have one. I was lucky enough to work my way into this industry, and just the feeling some people I get I consider mentors and that I work with are all kind of trying to pressure me and make me feel like I need to go get a degree.
Okay,
and
stop. First things first, because I think this matters. I want to change your mindset. I don't want to ever hear you say again that you were lucky in getting to where you are now without a degree. You were in a position where most people, based on what you're telling me, are pretty much required to have a degree or suggested they have a degree. You're in it. You worked your way into it. I don't want to ever hear you say you lucked into it.
Okay.
Because you didn't.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of hard work and a lot of talking to people, and it took me quite a long time to get here. So, yeah.
Thank you. It matters, Will, because that's going to come into effect here in a little bit. All right. So all these people above you in your current company are pressuring you to get a degree. What is their reasoning for pressuring you?
It keeps coming up about my career goals and aspirations that they believe that I can only get so far without a degree, and that not having the degree down the road is going to really hinder me.
Okay. Are you sharing those goals with them?
Yes.
Okay. And when you hear their opinion, do you think they are right?
I'm torn down the middle with it. That's why I'm.
Why are you okay? Why are you torn? Do you have facts that disagree with them, their opinion, or does their opinion have a bunch of facts that you're going? It's kind of hard to ignore that. Talk to me.
In my mind, I disagree with them because I've gotten here and I am where I am without one.
Yeah, baby.
And then the other side of that is I believe they're coming from the industry standard and stereotype that you need a degree to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's any actual factual evidence that would require me to get one to move up.
So screw their opinion. You ever seen Legends of the Fall, the old movie with Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins? You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
You remember the old man towards the end of the movie? He's got a stroke and he can barely talk, and the federal government's threatening him to do all this, and he looks at his sons and he goes, "Scrum!" Remember that?
Yeah.
I really think that's what you need to be thinking and feeling. I don't want you to say that. Like, I don't want you to look at them and go, screw you guys. But I'm saying that's the mentality. And I chose that advice on purpose because you remember that scene in the movie. That old man is speaking from a place of conviction, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
He's going, they aren't going to take my land. I'll die before they take my land. And I think that when we're in a world, and this is the matrix that we live in, Will, that you just summed it up beautifully. The audience heard that. It was beautiful. You said, I'm in an industry where the standard is, it's kind of an expectation. And then you quickly said, well, but I know different. I've got facts and I've got experience. And you know, Dave Ramsey said something to me many years ago. It's one of my favorite things Dave's ever said to me. And he said, a man with an experience is not at the mercy of the man with the opinion. Something along those lines. Do you get that? Like, yeah. A man with an experience, the experience outweighs the opinion every day of the week, twice on Sunday. True or false?
It's true. Yeah.
All right, so I'm having a little bit of fun, but this is a mindset coaching call. You know that you can get where you want to go without a degree. And those people are just giving you their opinion, which, by the way, is based on their experience. Their experience was they checked all the boxes and they did it the standard way. By the way, I hate that word standard. I hate it. And the reason I hate it, Will, is because you're not standard. Are you standard?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I believe you're customized by the creator of the universe. There's no standard with you. I'm not standard. You're not standard. Anybody listening, watching today, you aren't standard. Robots are standard, right? My juicer I use every morning. Well, it's a standard. It's got a model number. They're all the same. You're not a standard. So I'm having some fun, but I'm as serious as I can possibly be that you have to hear that and you have to smile and you have to shake your head and go, mm-hmm. And then you just keep doing you. Because that was where you were leaning before you called me, true?
Yes. I mean, I'm not opposed to getting a degree, but I'm looking at it more of a why spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on something that I may not ever get back. So,
Will, I don't know if you've heard me say this. This is a two-part filtration system. You ready? As to whether or not you should get a degree. Is it the only way for me to get where I want to go is question one. Is it the best way to get where I want to go? That's question two. If the answer is yes to either one of those, then you do it.
Okay.
But if the answer is no to both, which I think right now it's no, then you just forget about it. Don't even worry about it. And don't take the pressure from those well-meaning people. Right?
Okay. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You got this. By the way, can I just tell you how stinking proud I am of you?
Thank you.
You did it the old-fashioned way. You earned it. You didn't learn it. You earned it. Telling you folks, massive cultural pressure that a degree is the best way to set you up for success. And that's what Will was telling us. And by the way, that's what we've been told for 40 to 50 years. The marketing message is that a degree, a higher degree, a college degree or a higher ed degree is the best way to success. And it's true in a few fields. Increasingly fewer fields. But it's not true in every field. And folks, here's the two-part question. Because we got new people watching, listen all the time. Listen, let me set you free. Is it the only way to get where you want to go? Is it the best way to get you where you want to go? If the answer is to yes to either one of those, please cash flow it. Don't go into debt and do it. If it's not, there's a better way that's cheaper and faster. But boy, oh boy, is this controversial. People hear me say that and they go, Ken, why do you hate higher education so much? Rewind it. I didn't say anything about hating higher education. I'm saying it's big business. Do the math. Look at those endowments. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. What are they spending it on? Interesting stuff. Things that make you want to go,
You were created to fill a unique role in and through your work. Now, some of you may be going, I have no idea what that is. Some of you may be saying, I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to get there. I felt all of those emotions. I've been where you are, and I can tell you, there's hope. That's why I wrote the book, From Paycheck to Purpose. You can make the income you want and the impact that you desire, and I know that you have what it takes.
Coaching you up so you can win in work and in life. I'm Ken. Let's go, go, go. Coming up. You don't want to miss this. In my hands here, cringy job post. This is the old Reddit water cooler that Alex likes to bring to me. We're going to have a little bit of fun with that. But let's get back to the phones. Another coaching session. Greg joins us in Rancho Cucamonga, California. Greg, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
My pleasure, sir. What's up?
Hey, so I'm looking to relocate out of California, and I'm applying for lots of jobs in lots of places, but I see that there is usually a price disparity in the pay, and I'm thinking, is this just something I'm just getting hung up on and just need to focus on the bigger picture of a better lifestyle? Or
well, let's
look for a better paying job?
Well, is the salary disparity, is that because you're in California and it's the most expensive freaking place in the world to live? So that same position in another state like the Midwest or the Southeast is probably going to pay less.
Well, it's two-part. Some of the jobs I'm finding are not management. Some are going back to the worker, and hopefully be able to work up to management again.
Why would you go back?
Well, just, I guess, a bit desperation, trying to get out of.
Desperation to get out of your current work or get out of California?
Some of both.
Okay, so let's just pause. Is there a reason for you to be desperate? I mean, like a legitimate reason. And let me before you answer that, let me set up what I'm asking. I want to make sure you really get what I'm getting at. If my house is on fire, I'm talking like 4 or 5 rooms, crazy blaze. I wake up to that in the middle of the night. I'm desperate to get me and my wife and 3 kids and the 2 dogs out of the house. I'm desperate. Are you truly, should you be desperate?
No, I should not be desperate.
Then let's stop.
Things are not
desperate.
that drastic.
Okay, good. Because here's the deal. Who among us makes great decisions when we're desperate?
The wise.
I don't know. I don't know if wise people make great decisions when they're desperate.
Okay.
When we're desperate, man, we're freaking out, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
sometimes.
My point is, even if our physical situation is desperate, only those who make good decisions in those moments are ones that can remove themselves from that desperate situation and get up above it. You understand my point here. So stop being desperate. You don't need to be desperate. You aren't losing your job. California is yet to fall into the ocean. It might, but it's not looking that way anytime soon. So I would not then be looking for positions that are below management level when what you ultimately want to do is get to management level anyway. So I want to go from management level to management level.
Right. Quality, not quantity.
That's right. So there are 2 factors that you've already brought up, and this is just a function of being patient, which is hard. Because your soul has left the company and your soul has left California.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's correct.
I know, and it's hard to be patient, but you have to be patient to find the right thing. So there's no reason to go backwards. The only reason you go backwards is if you're not patient. So you've got management talent, you got management experience. True or false?
That's correct.
All right. So there are going to be some salary differences depending on where you move to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because of the whole California situation. But I don't think it has to be so big depending on where you look. And so do you want to stay in the same industry?
I'm open to other industries.
Okay, good. So I think this is a wide net search. Have you thought about 2 or 3 geographical areas you'd like to move to?
Yes, me and my wife have agreed on 2 or 3 geographical areas that we'd like to relocate to.
Great. So this is what we call a very, very strategic search. Okay, let's just say it's 3. I'd start with the most desirable area. I'm guessing your wife has helped you rank those, huh?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'd start with mama's number 1, okay? If you're on board with that, I'd start with all my focused attention on number 1, area number 1. Who's hiring? What are the leadership positions? All industries. I'd maybe get a recruiter involved here. Certainly use ZipRecruiter. I'm a big fan of ZipRecruiter because they're going to work for you while you're hustling, okay? So I'd go to ZipRecruiter today and I'd sign up a free profile and I'd get going and let them start looking for you. But I would also potentially engage with an industry-specific recruiter if there's an industry or 2 you're interested in, or just another recruiter as well, because they're looking for, they know that area. So if you can get a recruiter in that area working for you, it's going to help. But hey, be patient. It's gonna pass. Don't be desperate. The opportunity's coming, and then you'll move. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Do you know what you were born to do? In order to get hired at a job you love, you need to get clear on your talent, passion, and mission. That's why our team created the Career Clarity Guide. In just a few minutes, this free tool will walk you through a process to discover what you do best: talent, the work you love to do, passion, and the results you want your work to produce. That's mission. Then you're going to feel way more confident throughout the job search process. To get started, go now to kencoleman.com/clarity.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. The job search, while it is hot out there as far as opportunity, it can still be lonely and frustrating. A lot of ghosting. Companies will ghost you. You feel like I apply, I don't get any response at all. Even crickets are worse than I get initial response and then they ghost me. So that's why I endorse ZipRecruiter. Their artificial intelligence does most of the work for you. They save you time by sending you jobs that you could apply to with just one click. And they are always pitching your profile to employers who have positions that could be a match for you. It is absolutely fantastic tool for your tool belt. Sign up for free at ZipRecruiter.com. That is ZipRecruiter.com. All right, to the phones we go. Seattle, Washington is where Sarah is. Sarah, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. How are you?
I'm living the dream, Sarah. What's going on?
Hi. So I've been working as an accountant for 14 years in the same company, and I'm finding out this job is not rewarding. So I have been doing some research and then did some couple interviews, but now I'm finding myself, I'm not sure if this is the path that I want to continue. 3 years ago, I paid off my debt through David Ramsey show, and
Fantastic.
then it was really great experience. So I want to help out people who is financially struggling, but I don't know where to start.
Well, so we start with, how are the ways that I can get paid to help people who are financially struggling, right? We take that really heartfelt statement that you made. I want to help people who are struggling financially. And then we say, okay, all right, where are those people gathering for help, right? Online, in real life, and you start to go, okay, do I want to be a financial coach, which is starting your own business? You could do that on the side. For instance, if you were to do financial coach master training with Ramsey Solutions and get trained, not only on how to do it, but how to grow your business, you could do that on the side in your accounting job. Probably give you a lot of juice. But let me just tell you something. That is an entrepreneurial venture. I mean, you are going to have to build that one person at a time. Okay, that doesn't just pay the bills right away. So you really got to hustle on that one. And you can do it over time to take the pressure off. See, if you're not relying on financial coaching business to be your sole income, then there's no pressure and we can build that. That's one option. The other thing is to be an investment advisor or financial advisor, so retirement, investing, all those things. That certainly is part of it. And so you just have to look, who's helping those folks that I want to help? How are they helping them? What does it take to get qualified? How much is it going to cost? How long is the process? And then what can I make? So I just think you have to do some basic research questions, and you get those answers, and then you go, okay, this isn't that scary. Might not be as attractive as it is in your mind right now, but you don't know where to start is holding you back. And the reality is the answering those questions I just gave you is going to help you come up with a plan to start and get there. But I wouldn't commit to this right away. You did accounting for 14 years. It tells me you like numbers. True or false?
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
You might need a different environment, maybe a different challenge as an accountant. I wouldn't throw out accounting right away. Hang on the line. Here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you my Get Clear Career Assessment. I want you to take this. You're going to get a detailed report on your talent, what you do best, your passion, work you love to do, and then your mission, the results that you most want to contribute to the world through your work. And then it's going to put it together in a purpose statement, and that purpose statement now becomes a high-level job description and points you to the world at work to go, does this job match up with this purpose statement? Does this job description match up? And it's going to give you a lot of clarity and confidence to move forward. And I'm going to give you my book, my #1 best-selling book, From Paycheck to Purpose as well. Let me give you that. That's the guide up the mountain once the assessment helps you identify a mountain. So thank you so much for the call. All right. Alex handed me this morning. And it's a cringy job post. And so the team found some postings on what's called Reddit. It's a social media platform. It's like a water cooler, all different kinds of topics. And so people posted some of these. Do we have images for these as well for our viewing audience? So I'll read them for our listening audience. For our viewing audience, you can follow along on the screen. So here's the first one. The position is entitled Tableau or Tableau. Thank you. Tableau admin. And look at this. Look right there. It tells you what it is. Location's Atlanta, Georgia. Pay rate, open. And then it says less as possible. So not only is that a jerk move, they didn't even use the right grammar. I mean, come on. How is it that that person thinks that that job posting is going to attract anybody? At least put it this way, the least possible. At least get it grammatically right. Less as possible? What a complete idiot. All right, number 2. Now, Alex, I was a little torn on this one. These are real people that are putting these job posts up, and they're going, this is cringy. Here we go. This is a sound operator for a film, a movie. And you can see this. They go through, please have your own mode of transportation and your own equipment. Okay. We need 100% commitment on this project. A sound will be one of the key elements of the project. So if you're too busy before July and you cannot transport yourself and you don't have your own sound equipment, please not apply. Okay, I got no problem with any of that. They're being very specific. And this is where it pays off. If money is all that matters and payment in cash, also, please do not apply cause this is a low budget to no budget film. Again, we've got all kinds of grammar errors. And can I just say that if somebody writes a job posting that wouldn't pass a 4th grade grammar test, you should have some red flags. Okay? And basically what this post is saying is, if you need some experience on this film, we're willing to talk. So it's cringy from the grammar, but it also feels like they're going, this is an opportunity for you to be a part of a film that may get sold later, but the way it's laid out is cringy. So that was kind of cringy. All right, next. This is a work from home admin position. And you could see here, it says financial services firm needs a high level of computer skills, forms completion and management, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to cut through some of this. Please read this in all caps. By the way, anytime we communicate in all caps, it's slightly cringy. We don't need you to yell at us via your words. And I feel like that's what that's become. Please read this. If you do not have experience in banking or financial services, please do not send your resume. No problem. I got no problem. They say it will be discarded. I love it. It's direct, straightforward, no cringe. But then here we go again with the yelling in all caps. If you've had more than 2 jobs in 5 years, your resume will be discarded. Please respect this. This is cringe. Where'd you come up with that standard? Again, I want to know, if you had 4 jobs in 5 years, why'd you have 4 jobs in 5 years? Were you moving up? You might be a rock star. Now, some idiot thought, well, I'm going to proclaim something. All right. I'm going to skip to number 5. This is operations assistant at a property management business. Now, folks, this is unbelievable. So I'm going to roll through this quickly. Okay. You got to be great at communication. You're going to touch basically every area of the property management. And they go on to say, acting as second command to the manager, taking care of all duties in their absence, scheduling meetings, answering questions for staff, providing excellent customer service, maintaining a relationship with owners, partners, all connections, preparing and filing forms, assisting with onboarding new properties, updating logs. You got to have a bachelor's degree, proficiency in English, previous experience in hospitality tourism is a must, computer systems, apps, tools of work on your daily basis. And then here's my favorite part, be genuinely happy. Being available any day and time is not a problem for you. What? You got to be happy, but you also have to have no life and be on call for us. They don't want an employee. They want C-3PO, that Star Wars drone. Come on, you idiots. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.
Thanks for listening to the Ken Coleman Show. For more, you can find the show on demand wherever you listen to podcasts and watch the show on YouTube. You can also find Ken across all social media by following @Ken Coleman.